Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sanford Khan here, business author and speaker. Welcome to this YouTube presentation entitled Guns and Butter. There's your guns, there's your butter. As a society, can we afford both? To have military expenditures, that would be guns, increasing military expenditures, and butter, which would be increasing social expenditures. Can we afford both as a society? The answer is yes. If you want to inflate your currency, you could afford both. But that's the price you pay. If you want to spend more money on the military because we're falling behind the Chinese, and we really do have people who don't like us out there, namely the Chinese, Russian, and Iranian axis that would like to unseat the United States by any means possible, then you're going to have to spend more money on the military. And if you spend more money on the military to bring it up to snuff, bring the Navy ship count up to 400, increase our air forces, modernize our army, and get it so it's competitive to the Chinese and we're able to defend America's best interests, then you're going to have to cut back on social expenditures. I didn't say cut out. What I mean by cut back is cut back out on the rate of increase in social expenditures. If you don't, you're going to have problems. Maybe some of you remember the high inflation rates in the 1970s. Now, this is a stretch, I admit, for most of you, but a few of you might remember it. I do. Now, LBJ, President Johnson, in the 1960s, early 70s, going on into the early 70s, we were fighting a war called the Vietnam War. Also in the 1960s, he also put in the Great Society program. So we had increasing expenditures for the military and increasing expenditures for the social programs. What happened? No free lunch. Inflation took off in the 1970s. And it was Paul Volcker, head of the Fed, that eventually had to raise interest rates double digit. And it was painful. I mean, really painful to bring the inflation rate down. It was a serious recession, but it did come down. So that's the price you pay. It's also interesting that there was two wars in the 20th century where the leader, the president, was a Democratic presidents, two of them, that knew this rule and obeyed it. It was Franklin Roosevelt in World War II and Harry S. Truman in the Korean War. That was from 1950 to 1953. Both of them cut social expenditures by 20% plus in those wars so we could afford to beef up our military. They knew this. But unfortunately, I don't think modern presidents realize that, of both parties, that if you're going to want to spend money on your military, you're going to have to cut back on the rate of increase expenditures for social programs. You can't afford both. If you do, inflation will stay high. And inflation is the destroyer of the American middle class. That's the one thing that could do it. That destroyer is probably a tough word. It will decimate the American middle class. It'll hurt them strongly. That's the one thing that could do it. You will impoverish the middle class. You will impoverish the middle class with inflation. Anyways, I spoke long enough. I don't like long YouTube videos, probably no more than you do either. Appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. And always remember this, there's no such thing as a free lunch in economics. That's the point I'm trying to get across in this video. Anyways, see you again. Take care and stay liquid. Remember, liquidity is king, not Elvis, especially in these trying times. Take care now.